Welcome to Overthrow Media. If you don't know me, I'm Villainous. I'm an organizer, I'm a revolutionary, and I'm an MC. I also make a little bit of YouTube videos and vlogs. So, what we're going to talk about today, the real reason that we beefing with Uncle Ike's.
The world I hate hates me. What am I supposed to just let it be?
Here's the thing, right? I just saw an article written in the Emerald. And yeah, the Emerald I used to write for, you know that one, until it got a little weird, and so I just stopped writing for them because I didn't want to pay people for their experiential knowledge. I only wanted to pay academics who would go and collect that experiential knowledge and then report it to them. Then it's worth pay, but like if it's actually something you live through, not worth it. You know what I mean? Even some of that shit that had research, they were just like, nah, because whatever. But they went deep into like this thing about why people were beefing with Uncle Ike's, why Uncle Ike's is racist. They talked a little bit about that history, but like, I guess at the end of the day, they didn't really go in depth or be transparent about where it came from. You know what I mean? So the first organization to really push forward actions against Uncle Ike's was Black Book Club. I want to talk about why that happened, right? So a comrade who is from the city, I'm also from the city, but like he's like seedy peeps, right? And he was like proposed that we should go after Ike's because of the foul shit that Ian Eisenberg, the owner of Uncle Ike's, was doing to people in our community. He had shoved down an elder. He had been trying to buy up property and displace black folks intentionally so he could make a profit, not caring about who he affects. He was a part of a group of people trying to shut down a community center. But there's even more reasons for that, right? So he dropped all his knowledge on me, which, you know, I was like, cool. Okay, we started understanding it. You know what I mean? I started talking to some of the elders that had been impacted by it. Then I proposed it to Black Book Club, which is an organization that I was a part of at that point. And then, pushed a little bit. And then people were like, yeah, okay, cool. Let's do this. We see why. But there's more points to that, too. You know what I mean? Because, like, people focused on how, like, people were getting arrested on that same corner and given fat prison sentences for the same thing he's doing. And that's a big part. But, like, also, during legalization, what people didn't realize is there were people who were operating in, like, gray areas of the law that were, like, doing, like, delivery services and stuff like that. And, you know, they were not breaking the law, but they were just in a gray area. There was no law existing yet, you know what I mean? So people were going around, you know, making a little money, feeding themselves, you know, just taking care of basic needs and like, you know, just having a job pretty much. And what happened was Ian Eisenberg, he came in and he started this group called CORE. And what CORE did is lobby to basically incarcerate people so that he could take up that space, right? So they started doing raids on the delivery services and other services that were already open. So Uncle Ike's could come in and then set up his Uncle Ike's and be able to have a monopoly on the weed industry. He would do other shady stuff with the legal weed businesses too. On like trying to like, he'd open up like arcades that are for youth. You know what I mean? Right across from where they're about to open a weed shop, so they can open it. He'd do other things like that, but to me, those paled in comparison of how foul that really was. Now, for people who don't know, 23rd and Union people hustled there day and night and were arrested day and night for the same things he was doing. You know what I mean? Gentrification pushed that up. So people gentrifying the neighborhood increased incarceration in those neighborhoods because they wanted to clear people out so they could give it to the white folks and rich people that were moving in. With all that knowledge in hand, we go ahead and start organizing protests, right? So we make this big demo and we organize with different groups, you know, like Africa Town and like some of the other groups that were named. And we go and we have a march specifically to Uncle Ike's. Now, what people don't realize is that we actually broke off, and not a lot of those groups who got credit for it actually were a part of it. You know, like the NAACP wasn't really a part of it. That was a misnomer. They wanted us to go a different route, and then we let a march there, and we did a thing with that. You know what I mean? It was cool. And then we had a couple more marches after that. And during this time, Uncle Ike's was using black security as a way to like be aggressive towards black folks. He also at one point, there's some photos of it. I'm gonna see if I try to pull it up and edit it into this video, but he actually tried to attack, like Ian Eisenberg and his security tried to attack a brown woman for protesting them. There was actually one point where I got attacked by a group of them for just standing there at a protest, a group of black security. as they attack people for protesting. I mean, unfortunately, there was specific sisters who blocked me from defending myself and protected security. Those specific sisters are also gentrifiers, so it's kind of a thing. But they're the ones putting the protest on at the time. For that specific protest, was not a Black Book Club protest. You know what I mean? It was a separate protest altogether. And you know, they just really have solidarity with the other Black people, and it's because they wanted a piece of the pie versus wanting our neighborhoods back. Like, most people who've been actually gentrified from that are from here, we don't want a piece of this pie. We want our neighborhoods back. You know what I mean? We want our communities back. We want to have what was taken from us back. You know what I mean? Having a piece of the pie of their spoils that they stole from us doesn't really, you know what I mean? It's like, I stole $1,000 from you, I'm about to give you 100 back. Like, what? Nah, man. Fuck that. I want all 1,000 back. Anyways. So, there was like 5-6 of us organizing at the time this protest, and when we went down there, we had the marches and started bringing up stuff. And we started doing investigations. We had a comrade, I'm not putting a name out there, that was a photographer who went on and interviewed a lot of the different businesses that dealt with Ian Eisenberg, and we started to see a pattern of his abuses and manipulation. Now, the thing is, we weren't going to focus on that. And the reason we don't want to focus on that, and I'm not going to focus on the video, is because it wasn't really pertinent to what we were trying to build in the degentrification type movement. You know what I mean? Him being foul to white gentrifiers wasn't really like on our agenda to address. You know what I mean? It just didn't make sense because they're also problematic, you know? During these like tensions and these demos, it started getting more hostile. Like, he started sending security, like not just on his property, but to follow people around, to threaten to attack them. Now these are Black security guards, so like we're talking about all these people getting spit on. Like the Emerald even talking about this Black security guard getting spit on that worked for Ikes. Well, yeah, they attacked Black people. Like, those security specifically attacked other Black people to defend this white man's interests. I do want to address the thing with Omari though. So, the anti-Semitic thing. Sometimes old people, specifically that are getting physically assaulted by a white man that's younger than them, have nothing to use but their words to attack with. You know what I mean? Doesn't mean that we're going to say is below the belt. Doesn't mean it's not like out of pocket. But one thing we got to recognize is who has the power in the situation. And people that are powerless will do anything to grasp a bit of their own power back. You know what I mean? Especially if it's being stolen from them. So is it okay that Omari said that? Nah, it wasn't okay. But that being said, the way it hurt him doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The way it may have hurt some people who heard it, that are on our side or that aren't a problem and don't have way more power. Yeah, I can hear why that matters. I see why that matters. You know what I mean? But we can't act like words are more powerful than actions. Actions are the most powerful part, like in a situation. How you actively impact somebody is extremely crucial. But words are just, in the day, words, if it's not backed up by power. That wasn't the only example of assault. Like I said, he sent security to attack other comrades. There was video of it. He sent security to attack me and other people that were just demoing. It's funny because I'm a bouncer, right? So I was actually working at the club, and he came in for this weed party. And, you know, I'm mature. I put my job first, and I didn't just stop from coming in. I should have. I didn't realize I could based off my job. But yeah, for anybody who else bounces, if you don't know, your boss will generally back you up if someone can't come in because you have a problem with them specifically. I should have done it first. But then he just, started getting smart and coming up sideways, getting too drunk. So, we had to grab him and throw him out. He wasn't used to not having power, though. He was trying to swear up and down, feeling all entitled and butthurt that he didn't have control in the situation. In the club that I work. The same thing, the same nature that applies to how he maneuvers in the CD. Now, as far as the church, everybody talked about the church, you know what I mean? And I feel like that's legitimate grievances. It just isn't mine. I'm just not really with the Christian thing. I'm not really with people being like, oh, there's youth around, so no weed. I don't think it's that crucial. But I do care about Ian Eisenberg's indifference to the needs of the Black community that he is taking space from. I do think that he needs to be shut down and put out of business, every single one of them, while he's expanding across the state. It's also really interesting that he sets himself up in situations where he puts his stores on corners that were historically known for pushing cannabis, that people have been arrested for, the communities have been destroyed because they were trying to make a living off of the same substance. But then he puts this in those communities and then wants to take from the community when there's no risk to him, that same community who had been incarcerated for it. So if you don't see the insult and disrespect to that and a problem with that, then I just don't really know what to tell you. As far as how I feel about Uncle Ike and Ian Eisenberg, fuck that dude, and he can see me, like, head up. If he ever wants to get it, he won't. He'll hide behind security. He's a scary little bastard. But, you know, it is what it is. I think when we move forward talking about how we're supposed to function with him, we should definitely be trying to shut him down in every way possible. But, you know, like I said, he's just a drop in the sea because there's many other contractors and people that are also very pertinent to address and deal with. Anyways, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I hope y'all feel me. Let me know, man. Have y'all experienced gentrification in your cities? Have you been a part of the struggle out here in Seattle to fight gentrification? How was your experience with Uncle Ike's? Let me know some of those things in the comment section, you know what I mean? Make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to sub and hit that bell so, you know, you can stay notified. You can know when I drop a new video because, you know, they're fire. Maybe you'll catch a music video because that's even more fire. If you watch it all the way to the end, make sure you put the hashtag in the comment section. Hashtag villain squad with a little sword emoji. You feel me? If y'all want to check out some other videos, they'll be up here to this direction somewhere. I was good fucking with y'all. My villains, I love y'all and keep coming back, you know what I mean? And let's build in real life though too. All right, deuces. If you want to support the channel, go ahead and head over to Teespring, cop one of my dope ass merch, or you can go to the Venmo and send me $1 to $5 and say you just with me no matter what. Let's go.